George, you got a battery?
Yeah, there's another one down there. Give me a minute.
I think I've got it over here. Ready?
Yeah.
Nice work. The bottom looks good. So whatever, just line it up with your top and we'll call it macaroni.
It's in a little bit, but that's okay, right?
That's exactly what we want for the drip edge. We're gonna end up cutting along that edge anyway.
Perfect.
Man, it's hot. So much for winter. Summer is here. It's like getting up to 67 degrees today. We're supposed to be up to 80 by the end of the week. The snow and cold is officially gone. I've been sweating like a fat kid in a candy store. Might be time for a haircut to shave and maybe put the flannel away. Don't think so. I'm going all summer. No haircut, no shave, all summer. I may change my mind, but that's the plan right now. See if I can play through the pain, make it into next winter. Hey, I really like the idea of the podcast. On a podcast, I'm worried my mouth is gonna get away from me, as it's been known to do.
A time or two. So many people are in the doldrums of wherever they're at, and they don't have they may think they have the courage, but they don't have the know-how, and they don't want to just go out on a limb like I've done the last 18 months.
Yeah.
And just learn.
Tread water,
live off of savings, and learn it until you're good enough to do it.
Yeah.
And everyone wants security without the risk, right? They want to take the risk if it's guaranteed, but then by definition it's not risk.
Yeah.
Right? So they want a sure payoff at the end.
Well, so how do we add value through the videos, through a podcast that will help people be inspired to go out and build a house, or to move to a more rural lifestyle, or whatever their dream happens to be? Because I just want to add value.
Tell them our story.
I guess that's all you can do.
I think that's all you can do is tell them your story. And my story right now, I'm in the middle of it. Maybe I'm in the first 20%, you know?
Yeah, it's going to continue to evolve.
It's going to evolve, and I can tell my story, and you can tell your story, and I think if nothing else, we have fun telling our story, and hopefully someone finds value in it along the way. I mean, I'm almost 40. I was a 38-year-old, 39, whatever I was, at a job that I liked, that paid me well, but it wasn't giving me any long-term value as far as building purpose in my life, right? I'm making
so it wasn't something you were passionate about.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the question. Am I a good storyteller? Are you a good storyteller? Or do we stick to the video medium?
Are we good enough? That's the question.
Yeah.
Are we good enough to...
Can we add value? Can we entertain? And can we educate?
If they like you enough to watch your videos, will they listen to you? Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's the thing. I want to add value.
Right.
I want to bring something to the table for the audience where they say, "Hey, I hate his ugly fat face, but at least he educates me." Or,
right.
I think he's a dumbass, but at least...
But he's my dumbass.
But he's my dumbass, and at least he educates.
Right.
So, how do we bring something different to the podcast game? Because I hate listening to these guys that are sitting in chairs, comfy chairs with microphones in front of them, and they're not... It's just a lot of words.
That's because a lot of them are comedians, and they're used to just people sitting and listening, paying them to listen to them, right?
So I wonder if it's got to be like in the shop or on the job site, and there's got to be a project going on, and while teaching about a project, helping to educate with something.
Even if it's in the truck, driving to and from, I mean,
Record it.
that's better than sitting in a chair thinking we're funny. At least everything's fresh. Oh, I don't need them done that, do I?
No, because you got studs there. But leave a gap for expansion.
Right.
And kind of split just like you did right there. That was
No.
54 and 3/8 on top.
Hey, Ginger Ninja.
Ginger. Yeah, about to close up the roof. Got about 11 sheets left. Yeah, we're finishing up sheeting the roof. We should be done here in the next hour or so. About a dozen sheets left, and then we've got to crown it, and cut a.
Hey, let's go back and try that again, because nobody in the industry says crown it. That's like what a pregnant lady says when she's giving birth.
I'm crowning, Michael.
We're putting in the ridge. Well, the ridge. It's the ridge of the roof. Not the,
Do you have the Sharpie?
do you have the
Mark
shot?
that baby in a way only you will know. All right, so we got about a dozen sheets left. Then we'll do the ridge. We'll snap a line and we'll cut our.
Which side is? This has been a really good project. It's been tough with the snow and fighting the weather, but I think we appreciate the drier, warmer weather a lot more. So we gotta, I won't complain about the heat. Yes, I will. One thing I'd like to do as we start to wrap up is I'd like to do a video and kind of sit down and go through the numbers. Hey, we had this many man hours. We spent those man hours on framing. We spent it on snow removal. Whatever, kind of break down the budgets, what we spent on labor, what we spent on lumber, and kind of talk about that to kind of give some, I'd like to give some perspective to the what it really costs for what you're seeing here. Now, granted, this house is it's 100 foot long and it's 40 foot wide. It's got 5,000 square foot of roof, and inside we've got about 3,500 square foot of living space and 1,200 square foot of garage. So I think it'll be good to talk about some of the budgeting numbers and take a look at the costs associated with this much square footage and working in this area. And hopefully, for those of you that are out there that may want to build or that are looking at building, can get a feel for, okay, yes, this works for us, or no, this doesn't work for us. And with everything, there's certainly tweaks that can be made. For example, this house has got some vaulted trusses in the living room. Those could easily be attic trusses, and for families with more children could pick up a lot more square footage through those areas. Pick up another 800 or 900 square foot upstairs, and now you've got a 4,500 square foot house. But maybe your great room, your living room, kitchen area doesn't feel as open. So we'll kind of break this house down in regards to costs and square footage, and let you take a look at that. We'll also, I'd like to discuss some of the pros and cons, you know, as we go through those budgets, the pros and cons with building in the through the winter versus building in the summertime. We'll look at some of those costs associated with this particular project. Now there's certainly a cost, you know, there's snow removal and those types of things that we had kind of budgeted here, but that additional cost there is going to get these folks into their house by Thanksgiving, and so for them it was worth it. So depending on where you're building or what time of year it is can affect your budget quite a bit. So we'll put those numbers together and those budgets, and then sit down and kind of go through them and try and explain it. But if there's specific questions, please put them down in the comments, and we'll try to address those comments specifically. Now there's certain stuff I can't talk about, obviously, with homeowners. There's what they want to share and there's what they don't want to share, and so we may be generic in our information, but hopefully there'll be some nuggets in there of good information that'll help people thinking about building a 4,000 square foot home with a 1,200 square foot garage. Look at this, or look at it and say, wow, if that's what it costs, maybe we need to scale down and do 2,500 square foot and do a 800 square foot garage, or whatever the case may be. So the other thing we're starting is the utilities, and so that'll be coming up. We'll be putting in the sewer line, tying into the septic. We've got concrete to prep in the garage. Obviously we've got about 1,200 square foot of flat work in there, so there's dirt work to do and there's rebar to tie and then get the concrete poured. And then once that concrete's down, then we could build the stairs up into the attic. That'll kind of be the last thing we do on the framing, and then it's electricians and the heating and air conditioning guys will be coming in, and we'll get the plumber in here. And for us, we've got some other projects going on, and so we'll kind of be, I don't know that we'll be back here until maybe it's time for exterior siding, or we might be working on finish work inside or flooring or some of those other things. But we're gonna go and do some other projects after we get all the utilities hooked up, and we'll turn this over to these other subcontractors and let them go to work. So that's kind of what's coming up here in future videos over the next few weeks. So stick around, look forward to that, and again, questions, comments, concerns, love to hear them. Put them down in the comments, and then catch up with us on Instagram or Facebook. We sometimes, if you're looking for stuff that's happening faster, these videos that you're seeing sometimes have a lag time of a week or whatever, and so I try to put stuff out there. Instagram is usually a more current place to find us. Along with Facebook, it's easier to just put up some pictures and show what we're working on.
Oh, when we get it back,
I've already been in
remember
this club.
before you go anywhere that we need
Initiated years ago.
So that was 2 rolls.
That's
3 rolls. How many do you have?
Yeah, so we're 5 or 6 feet short.
Yep.
Okay, let me go make a quick phone call and get some more coming. But let's grab another roll.
Well, I'm gonna tack this one down real quick because I have Croy pulling boards for the
Oh
next
yeah,
side.
yeah. So keep going here. In fact, if you want to then jump onto the paper while we wait.
But I mean, you know, I'm sure you got some of those.
He wears a
people around
tinfoil
here.
hat. Okay, got it.
So they
I
don't
got
read
it.
his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to get myself some tinfoil, I guess. I mean,
looks good, man.
So my thought is that the cedar.
Smells really
The
good.
cedar would be.
Yeah. I understand that Hardy Bower is more expensive, relatively inexpensive. Like in
Even
fact,
if I did part of it cedar and part of it,
yeah, and maybe you do like
part of it green, and then maybe the bottom cedar, and
Or-
the top cedar.
it could be that the wings. Quick little update. We got the roof on. Roof's done. The roof is dried in, and today, beautiful day. It's like 70 degrees. Couldn't be happier about the temperature. But it's supposed to rain this weekend and get nasty again. But who cares? Let it rain. We are dried in, and could not be happier about having a roof on this thing. How long has it been since you pumped?
It's been 2 or 3 days now.
So, as you can see, the roof is all framed in, sheeted, and we got the paper laid down. And on this roof, we went with the first 2 runs are the Grace Ice and Water Shield. It's a thick kind of a tar, and then it's got a sticker on paper on one side. You peel that off, you stick it down, and then nail it down. Which is great down at the bottom where you may see ice dams and those types of things. And then we've got a Tyvek roof paper on top of that goes all the way to the ridge. So it's good to be completely and totally dried in. I wish we could have started this project with it dried in, if there was some way to show up here and dry it in on the first day and to be able to work underneath a dry roof. But it's kind of after working on this thing for the last who knows how many weeks, it's great to have snow melted. Got a little bit of water that we're pumping out of the crawl space, which is why this house doesn't have a basement and why it does have attic trusses. So now it'll be inside to work on all of the backing. There'll be backing for the cabinets and backing for toilet paper holders and backing for grab rails and on and on and on, putting in backing for sheetrock and for finish work and those types of things. And then it'll be wrapping the house. We've got a Tyvek wrap that we'll put around the house, and then we'll set the doors and the windows. So that's kind of what we've got that we're working on next. So we'll keep the camera rolling, and I don't know, we're getting down there, kind of getting towards the end of this project. It's going to be fun to button it up and then on to the next. But there's still lots of kind of odds and ends, things that need to be done. And in these next stages, setting windows, setting doors, wrapping the house, there's a lot of technical stuff there that we'll try to get on camera and share how we do it, why we do it. Because some of the most important stuff is that weatherproofing on the exterior of the house and making sure that you are watertight around those doors and windows. That's where most people see problems, is moisture around doors and windows. So we'll try to button those up tight and take you along, turn on the camera and show you how we're doing it. So that's what we've got to look forward to, and we'll make that happen.